This will fix the Dallas Mavericks, and after only 5 games into the season, there's a lot of things that we've seen so far that just flat out doesn't work. Like not playing a point guard in your starting 5, or rather yet barely playing your point guards at all, as well as having a player who really can't produce on the offensive end anymore, or is just a complete cone on the defensive end, playing that guy quality minutes over young players that have taken their game to a whole nother level. There's a lot of positive that we've seen so far in just 5 short games that fans want to see more of because it works. Like playing D'Angelo Russell or even Brandon Williams in your starting lineup, as both of those players have shown that they can take this team to another level. As well as Max Christie, the young guy that we got at the trade deadline last year who has become a scoring punch for this Mavericks team and is shooting lights out from 3. So in this video, we're going to take a look at 2 small changes that the Dallas Mavericks can make that'll elevate their team to another level, make their offense better while not sacrificing anything on the team. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, we're currently sitting at 22,217 subscribers. I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the love and support. We've been growing very fast since the start of the season, but if you want to be up to date on everything Mavericks related, as we break down what happened after games, injury reports, news, everything else in between, make sure you subscribe. But the Dallas Mavericks have been off to a pretty rough start to the season. We're currently 2-3 at the time of this recording, but some things look good for the Dallas Mavericks. Not everything's bad, not everything's gloom and doom. We don't have to hit the big red button and just call it in 5 games in. There is still hope to salvage this season in some way, shape, or form, and we've seen good looks from this team. We've seen this team come back after being down at halftime to the Pacers and win that game. We also saw this same Dallas Mavericks team, while down the entire game against the Oklahoma City Thunder, almost pull off the comeback in the 4th quarter to win that game. But the opposite can be said as well, as we've seen this team lose to the Washington Wizards, which at this point we may have to put more respect on the Wizards' name, as they completely beat us with a healthy Anthony Davis, with a healthy Max Christie, with the healthy Derrick Lively, healthy for the most part. But the Dallas Mavericks have already had a couple ups and downs this season, but it doesn't mean it's over yet. We can still right the ship, but it starts with the coaching. Having quality rotations, quality lineups, playing players where they need to be played so other players can benefit from it is all the things that this team can do to make things better, to get the wins racked up, to help boost us out from the bottom of the standings and actually have a decent run. So when Kyrie Irving returns, it's not a, oh, Kyrie, you're back, save us from this horrible season. Have it more like, hey, Kyrie, we've been winning games. Things look good. Welcome back. But if we take a look at the first thing that we got today, Klay Thompson is 7 of 22. That's 28.6% from 3 this season, and that is horrible, horrible, horrible. And I've already seen the comment section. I've seen people say it on Reddit, on Twitter, that obviously Klay Thompson gets better throughout the season. Around the halfway mark, around All-Star break, really, is when Klay Thompson starts to look better. And I agree. I guess that's how he's been in the past. So, okay, that's fine. But the other thing that fans would also be quick to tell you is that Klay Thompson needs a point guard that can set him up. Obviously, we all know that one of the main attractors of Dallas, the Mavericks, for Klay Thompson was to play alongside Kyrie Irving, who was hurt, but also Luka Doncic. Klay Thompson, for his entire career, played with a legendary point guard who knew how to play alongside him to make him look good. And what we've seen now, without any semblance of a legendary point guard, is a Klay Thompson who looks way more washed than he probably is, but he's not getting good looks. He's not able to score and be effective like he should be, at least not to the level of last year. Obviously, he's not the same Klay. He's not prime Klay. He's had injuries. He's missed time. We all get that. And Father Time is undefeated. He is another year older. But there's a lot of things wrong with what we're seeing from Klay Thompson so far this season. And on the defensive end, complete cone. We all know that as time goes on, players get older, you have injuries, you're not the same defensive player as you once were, we get that. But having Klay Thompson in the starting lineup, when you watch him play, every time he touches the ball, the offense slows down. Either he has to figure out where to go with the ball, whether he's going to drive, pump fake, shoot, move, pass. Every time we swing the ball to Klay, it's a pause in the offense. Everybody has to wait to see what Klay's going to do. Is he going to pull up a shot? Is he going to take a dribble first and shoot? Is he going to try to attack the basket? And there's no shot to Klay, because if Klay needs the right point guard for him to look good, and if we don't have that, then there's no real point in having Klay. And better yet, have him come off the bench. Maybe he can play better with the second unit against the other team's second unit. And I'm not too sure what his ego is, or if it would be detrimental to the team and their chemistry if Klay Thompson comes off the bench. But if it makes the team better, if we can actually get wins and play better, then you got to do what's right. And the other thing that we're going to take a look at is one other thing that the Dallas Mavericks have going for them, and it is their youth. As Derrick Lively II and Max Christie lineups, our offensive rating was 154 and our defensive rating 105, net rating 48. Now, obviously, Derrick Lively has missed some time with injuries. Max Christie has been in the starting lineup in lieu, but they've only played 18 minutes together. But if this is a very, very, very small sample size that shows that our young players have benefit, there's a plus to playing the young guys. We already know that when Derrick Lively is on the floor, alongside Cooper Flagg, alongside PJ Washington, things look pretty good. The same can be said about Max Christie. The same can be said by a lot of our young players. One of the things that a lot of fans are pointing out is that Cooper Flagg doesn't really play well with the starting lineup, and it's not because of Cooper Flagg, but it could be because of AD as well as Klay Thompson, who slow the game down while Cooper Flagg wants to run the floor. He wants to get out in transition and get going so he can get a bucket on the end or run back on defense. But if the guys on the floor can't keep up with your pace, then maybe that's why we haven't seen the best out of Cooper Flagg just yet. But another thing we got to take a look at is this right here. League leaders in three-point percentage with a minimum of 25 attempts, and right there at number 4 is Max Christie, shooting 51.9% with a minimum of 25 attempts is absolutely amazing. One of the big things that everybody pointed out, myself included, over the summer is that this Dallas Mavericks team without Kyrie Irving will suffer from three, and we still are. Max Christie is our best three-point shooter by far, but overall the team is still suffering. And yes, the last few games we've had Max Christie in the starting lineup, mainly for his defense, which has been phenomenal by the way, but the offense is still there as well. He's outscoring Klay every time in both games that they both started. Max Christie, whether he's getting more minutes than Klay, I understand he will play more than Klay, but as far as what starting lineup benefits everybody the most, maybe you need to put Max Christie in over Klay, not alongside him. It's more than just he gets more minutes than Klay. It's who is he playing alongside to help? Does Klay benefit from Max? Does Max benefit from Klay? If not, then you have to separate the two. Does one benefit playing with a point guard, or does the other benefit when whoever's playing point guard? These are the things that the coaches have to keep in mind, because if we can't get the most out of our players, then we're not going to win games. Max Christie has shown time and time again all season long that he is consistent, he is a scoring threat, and he is a defensive lockdown monster for this Dallas Mavericks team. But not only does Max Christie make this team better, but there's another element that obviously makes this team better, and that's our point guards. Both D'Angelo Russell as well as Brandon Williams have been a positive all season long, and obviously Brandon Williams just played his first game the other night, which was phenomenal. 20 points off the bench, led everybody in scoring. It was amazing. And that was just a testament that shows that our guards are actually really good, and we need to give them that, one of them, any of them, either Brandon Williams or D'Angelo Russell, the starting role, so Cooper Flagg, Derrick Lively, Anthony Davis, PJ, anybody else in the starting lineup can benefit from the fact that from the opening tip-off, we have a point guard to initiate the offense on the very first play, to get guys warmed up, get them some good shots, get them rolling, get them in a rhythm. We need that. Instead, we have PJ or Cooper Flagg play point guard to start the game. Guys are trying to get into rhythm, but it doesn't really work. Cooper can't be Cooper, PJ can't be PJ, and it's just sloppy. And if we continue with what we have today, D'Angelo Russell is currently 8th in the league in defensive rating, 4th in the league in opponents field goal percentage, allowed, 1st among guards. So one of the main things about D'Angelo Russell that a lot of people doubted was his defense, and so far, that's not a thing. D'Angelo Russell is 8th in the league in defensive rating and 1st among guards. And obviously the numbers can mean one thing, the eye test can mean another, but according to the numbers, D'Angelo Russell is the best defensive guard in the league. We have the number 1 defensive guard in the league right now, and he's coming off the bench, which is fine. I'm not saying D'Angelo Russell has to start. If anything, we need a point guard to start, but obviously D'Angelo Russell is a positive for us. He can score off the bench, maybe not the most efficiently. Turnovers, they're not that big of a problem, but as far as initiating the offense, playing good defense, and trying and committing on the defensive end, we're getting that in D'Lo. He's been amazing for us. He needs to get more run. Either him or Brandon Williams needs to be in the starting lineup so we can get more wins. The name of the game is getting wins, and this is the formula. You put Max Christie in a better position to help the team. You put either D'Lo or Brandon Williams, take your pick. I know Brandon Williams only played one game. Maybe you want to see more from him, but you put somebody, a point guard, period, in the starting lineup, and everybody benefits from it. Everybody can play better. Cooper can really show off what he can do for us. Whenever Anthony Davis comes back, he can go back to looking like a prime MVP candidate that he was just last season. It really isn't rocket science, and I'm pretty sure all the coaches know this. I don't think I'm telling the coaches anything that they don't know, but if we're going to keep experimenting, then we're going to continue to have a rough go at anybody we see. The Wizards should have been a winnable game. The Pacers game, we won. They were coming back at the end, but we won that game. But we shouldn't make it that hard on us because we want to experiment. Knowing that we are without Kyrie Irving for the majority of the season, now that Anthony Davis is out, we don't know how long he'll be out. But we can't keep making it harder on ourselves when it's already hard on ourselves. But if we want to continue with all the things that make this Dallas